So it's 2020 and you want to start your Instagram. You might be worried it's a little bit too late, but you know what they say? The best time to start something is right now. So let's get cracking. So there are two methods to starting your own Instagram page. One, if you have some capital to start with, you can buy a pre-existing page, something between 10 and 25,000 followers, which you can then grow. But for this video, we're going to focus on building your own Instagram page from scratch. If you want to find out how to buy or maybe even sell an Instagram page, that's what I'm going to do in the next video. So hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. And I said those in the wrong order, but so I started my Instagram journey way back in 2012 when Instagram was totally a new thing and it was super easy to blow up on the platform. Now things have got a little bit harder, but it's still possible if you have that time, dedication, and you really want it, or you got a bit of money. For this method of building an Instagram account, we're gonna do it totally free, totally from scratch. So right now I'm gonna take you through my top 5 steps, which I take when I'm building any page from scratch or for a client or it's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video. So right now, I'm going to take you through my top 5 steps. Oh, I don't want to show that side of your hand. That's horrible. Ugh. 5 steps that I take every time I start a new Instagram page, whether it's for myself or for a client. So the very first thing you need to do is decide whether you're going to make a theme page, which is a page that revolves around something that you're interested in or something that you think an audience might be interested in. My experience is if you're trying to build a following from scratch, then you don't really want to go down the personal route because no one really cares about you, I'm afraid, or me. So pick a theme page. So in my personal experience, car pages or animal pages, being dogs and cats, seem to do the best. But I have pages that revolve around what I'm interested in. So there's cars, flips and tricks, cats, dogs, and my own personal page, and also some of my brand pages. So yeah, you got to pick one. So from my research, I found that the most profitable niches are something to do with cute animals or cars. They seem to be the most engaged with posts, but you can pick whatever you're interested in. It's much easier to build a page if it's something that, you find interesting, so you can spend a lot of time engaging with your followers and commenting and liking. The best way to come up with anything is just go on the Explore tab, scroll through, see what's picture fancy, see what comes up and just go from there. So you've decided on a niche, now it's time to pick a name. So when you come out with a name, the best practice is to keep the theme within the name. So for example, if you're posting about only Ferraris or only sports cars, then put sports car or Ferrari in your name. Or if you're building a brand page, then obviously call it the brand that you've come up with. So the first thing you want to do is make the page look appealing, so your first followers don't look at it and think, oh God, I'm not going to follow that. So my advice is we start from 9 to 12 pictures, and they can be of exactly what your niche is about. And you find those pictures by simply going on the Explore page and finding pictures that, fit in with your niche. Make sure that all the pictures are, cohesive, so they all fit together nicely. No one wants to follow a page that does dogs and Ferraris, because it just doesn't make any sense. Niche down and make sure they're niche specific. I would advise against uploading 9 to 12 pictures all in the space of 10 minutes, because that's easily how you get action blocked. So an action block is when you do something way too many times and Instagram goes, oh, they're definitely a bot. Uploading about 2 or 3 pictures an hour is what you want to do, but probably don't do more than 9 to 12 pictures in one day. So in your bio, you want to include a call to action and an explanation of what your page is about. So here's an example of a bad page, and here's an example of a good page. You want to be including hashtags from the very beginning. And how I pick hashtags is I follow a specific method, which includes small, medium, and large hashtags. So how you find hashtags, you type it in the Explore page, and it will come up with how many posts are there. On each post, I want to include 3 to 5 really large hashtags. So we're talking 300,000 to 1 million posts. Then 3 to 5 medium hashtags. So we're talking 80 to 300,000 posts. Then 3 to 5 really niche specific posts. And 3 to 5 small niche specific posts. On top of that, you can also include your own branded hashtags, so every single picture you post the same hashtag, which is solely for your page, and then all your posts will come up on that hashtag. So that's really good if you're starting a brand. So when it comes to a theme page, the best advice I have for you is find pages that are very similar to your own and just emulate what they're doing. When you post, make sure that you always tag the original content creator. That's the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. If you find your pictures from a similar page, make sure that that page is also tagging the original content creators, because there's nothing worse than spending hours creating content and then, it's just lost and you find it one day on a theme page and you've got no credit for it. One thing that you need to think about is your profile picture. And this should be, I tend to like cartoony profile pictures, but you can kind of choose whatever you want. Just make sure it stands out, it's got loud colors, and it's exactly very niche specific. This is the last stage, and this is growing your page. If there's one thing that I can't stress enough, it's don't use third-party softwares. So that includes buying followers, that includes buying likes, comments, etc. And that includes connecting your page to anything. Like, it's 2020 now, Instagram's so intelligent. Like, you could get away with this in 2015, but now Instagram completely destroys all accounts that are attached to third-party softwares. So if you're doing that right now, I urge you to stop. You need to spend the time yourself engaging with your followers, because it's just not worth destroying your account. I know from personal experience that this will destroy your account. I have a page with over 25,000 followers that I grew using automation software. So it's a software that goes through liking, comment, following. And now I can get less than 50 likes on one post. It's completely useless to me. But that leads me on to my next point, is the fact that you can't use these softwares anymore means that so many less people, much less people are actually trying to grow accounts, because it's actually quite difficult and you have to spend, a good deal amount of time on your page, which leaves space for us. You can build pretty fast if you actually are dedicated to it. So my advice is, depending on how many pages you have, you take 15 minutes 3 times a day to focus on your page. And it's I've spent, when I first started, I used to check my phone all the time. I'd follow the count, follow the likes, follow the comments, follow everything. But you don't need to do that. Just set aside 3 15-minute sections throughout the day to focus on your account. Within these 15 minutes, you upload a picture, you engage with your audience, you like, comment, follow other people, and that's about it. So we're going to talk about the growing method here, and it's follow for follow. And I know that seems like very spammy, but it's the best way to grow still. But you got to follow very specific guidelines. So if you're a brand new account, my advice is don't follow more than 20 people at a time. You can do this 3 times a day. If you're an older account, let's say 3 to 4 months old, you can follow about 50 3 times a day. But don't go over this, because you will be action blocked. An action block is where Instagram sees your account is making suspicious, unusual activity, and then they just completely block you for up to a week. So with the follow for follow method, you want to be following 50 to 150 people per day. And in my experience, at least 20% of those people will follow you back, as long as the people that you're following are within your niche. Now, you might ask, how do I find people who I should be following? So I'm going to show you right now. Here, let's jump onto my phone. So the way I find people to follow is I go onto pages that are very similar to my page. So let's say if you're running a pitbull page, for example, you type in pitbull into the search engine and you find other large pitbull accounts. You find the pictures that are doing well, you click on them, go through the list and follow people within that list, because they've actually engaged with this. Another way even further is you go into the likers, you click on their pictures, and you find people who have liked their pictures and follow those people, because they're even more engaged. One step further is every time you find someone to follow, you can also go onto their page, you can like and engage with their pictures, and that'll increase your likelihood of them following you back exponentially. But this takes a lot more time. I've found that if you just follow between 50 and 150 people a day, 50 for the brand new accounts, 150 for the older accounts, the likelihood of 20% is very high. I hit that always. I always get 20%. And I would say don't go higher than 4,000 people to follow. So once you hit that 4,000 mark, you're going to have to start unfollowing. But again, the action block still applies. So you have to only unfollow between 50 and 150 people per day. And the unfollowing, unfortunately, for me, is the least satisfying. It used to be easier because you could attach some third-party software that told you the people who didn't follow you back, you simply click on it, unfollows them for you. But again, third-party software, just don't do it. So the fun really starts when you have between 2,000 and 5,000 followers. This is when your account will start growing exponentially. You won't have to do anything. All you have to do is find great shareable content and then watch your followers roll in. This method really does work. And once you hit that 2,000 to 5,000 range, you don't need to follow for follow anymore. That's done, because your account's going to be growing organically. So you're thinking, I've got my page, where can I start making money? So for me, I really start seeing money come in at about the 10,000 follower range. This is when people start messaging you asking for shoutouts. And you can charge anywhere between $5 and $50 for just a normal shoutout. When it comes to brand deals, that's way more lucrative, but that's something that you have to discuss with them, and you can make a lot more money like that. Remember, when giving shoutouts, you always want to stay niche specific. It's very easy for someone to message you who doesn't really understand Instagram, who might be, for example, a car page and you're a dog page, and they ask you for a shoutout. My advice is try not to take too many of these. It's the same with products. Try not to advertise products that aren't niche specific at all, because your followers will think you're spammy and then they'll end up unfollowing you. I'll be making way more videos about how to monetize your Instagram page, how to successfully grow a social media brand, how to grow products, everything like that. So if you're interested in that, follow me. I'm sorry for the low quality of this video. I'm really just jumping back on now because it interests me, and I'm about to travel the world, and I'm going to show you that too. So if that excites you and you want to know how I'm managing to do that, then smash that subscribe button. And I thank you for stopping by.